Hey, today let's talk about how a mentorship student got a $4,200 per month client, then a couple other clients for like $600 per month each, and about 80 days of working together. So about $5,400 per month added, and that's not counting like some of the cleanups that he's gotten. So my name is Bryce Tubbs. Today we're gonna be talking about like how that student did that. I'm gonna make sure. Last week I was doing one of these and our microphone kind of got messed up, so the volume wasn't working properly. So I'm going to do two things to kind of prevent that from happening from now on. Number one, I'm looking on the left side of my computer to kind of talk about, to look at the volume and different things like that. On the right side, I'm looking at the different comments. So sometimes when I do these videos, I don't look at the comments inside the comment section because it can kind of be a little bit distracting when I have like a train of thought. But I'm going to do my best to do that. So also, if you can help me out, right? So if you can comment down below, so a couple of different codes I'm going to tell you in a minute. The reason why I'm asking for you to like comment these codes is because it allows the video to be seen by more and more people. Social media, like the when you start doing a lot on social media, it's you start noticing that a lot of times the people who are like either in your Facebook group or who are on your Facebook profile don't see your videos because social media thrives on engagement. So if you can help me show this to more people, since I'm not charging you for this video, that would be great. So if you're watching this thing live, type in hashtag team live. So I know it's here. I'll be able to like make this more interactive and I'll respond to the comment section a little bit more. If you're watching this on the replay, maybe you're watching this like at our YouTube channel or our LinkedIn profile, write down hashtag team replay. I'm actually going to send you a free gift if you do that. So attacking this thing. Also, one before we go into that, hey Carmen, I see Carmen is here watching. Yeah, I know you were here last week and the volume was off, so this week we're gonna have the volume be on full blast. Also, if you want some help growing your business, maybe you've been like trying to grow for a little while, but it's just not quite growing the way that you want, right? You see the results we're getting these students, you see that's a lot faster than probably at the speed you're moving right now. You just want to be able to go and get to where you want to be as fast as possible. Go ahead and click the link inside the description to book a call with myself, see if we can help you inside of our program. So without any further ado, how did the student do it? So first things first, we're going to talk about value. So a lot of people like, they can get clients for like, 400, $500 per month, but when you start trying to go and get clients above $2,000 per month, that's where a lot of people struggle. Now, in this particular case, the student had a business owner that basically signed up with them for like a cleanup. I think the cleanup, the guy paid him like $4,000 for the cleanup, and it's for one company. Now, the gentleman was also a serial investor, right? So he had two other companies. One company is a little bit bigger. The other company is like very, very small. It's like the newest, the third company that he had was like doing like 90,000 a year because he just got started. Now, in order for you to start getting clients who want to pay you higher and higher amounts of money, you need to be able to really start communicating your value. Now, when it comes to value, there's 50% of value is really about like how you feel about yourself. So a lot of accountants and bookkeepers struggle to charge the price points they want because they don't really understand how to evaluate the work they're doing, and they really don't have a good feel for understanding how they move their clients forward. Anytime that you're doing work with and for someone, you need to be thinking about like what is someone going to do with the work that I provide. So let's say that you're going to be helping someone with like financial statements. Why does a business owner need financial statements? The reason why is they need to see like how is their business doing. I'll give you a good example. So let's say it's an e-commerce business. If you're dealing with an e-commerce business and they are selling items, maybe they're doing like $70 per item. Hi, Kimberly. I see Kimberly is here. If they're doing things for like $70 per item, in order for them to make $1 million, they need to sell. I'm going to do some quick math. I didn't have that math problem prepared. Divided by $70. They had to sell 14,285 different sales at $70 price point. That is a lot of inventory. Okay. Not only inventory, but if they have multiple SKUs of those different types of items, they have to know when should they order inventory, how long is it going to sit inside of inventory. They have to know, does the product actually hold up to the mark anymore, or was there something that maybe has like been changed? They have to know, are their price points reasonable? They have to know, is their business like overspending in one area versus they could be doing another one. Could they be getting a better return if they did their marketing via, let's say, Facebook advertising versus Google advertising? Okay, let's say they're already doing Facebook advertising. Are they within industry standards for advertising rate of returns, right? So let's say that, for example, every single dollar they spend, they get about $4 out. Okay, in a vacuum, that could be good, it could be bad. They don't know. You need to be able to go and help them compare that to industry standards to see, like, maybe they're actually doing really well because the average company is doing between $1 in to get $3 out. So all those different factors will play into how much value the person can get out of your service. So number one is you have to really look inside to kind of see, like, what are you actually providing for the person, and understand too, value is not based on how much time it takes for you to do the stuff, and also value is not about how hard it is for you to get a result. So I learned this from an artist. So one thing I'm really passionate about is, like, I have relatives that have like art sculptures and stuff, and they sell these art sculptures at different like fairs, and um there was two partners. One partner is the person that does like most of the sales. The other partner is the one that builds the items. Now, the person who does the sales always talking to the builder saying, "Why do you have to make it so complicated? Can't you just like make it very, very simple pieces? Like you don't have to make it as detailed or as complicated." Now, when I talked to the builder, like Bryce talked to the builder separately, like, yeah, I mean, you could be saving a little bit of time doing the stuff. And his interpretation was, well, if I did things the easy way, that would not be considered art. And it kind of blew my mind because it's like, well, art is not really, no one who buys the sculpture necessarily cares how long or how hard it was for you to build this thing. What they care about is the finished product. And then once I was able to kind of explain that to him, really get him to understand that thing, he was able to go and build better quality pieces. He could have more fun because he didn't need to like build as many. He could focus on like building a couple that were very simple to like really hit like his financial needs. He could make one giant intricate sculpture. He didn't have to worry about selling it because he was already making all his money from the simpler pieces. But a lot of accountants and bookkeepers, like I was talking to one of my students named Joanne, and she was saying that she was actually feeling guilty charging some of these clients the prices that we're talking about because it wasn't taking her a million hours of her time. Especially now she has a subcontractor on her team, so she's not really having to do that much work, right? But it's all in here. It's all a mindset thing when you're talking about like pricing and really structuring for a business. Now, the second aspect of value in getting someone to want to pay that much money is being able for them to understand what is the tangible result of working with you. Okay, this comes down to explanation of value. And this is also considered sales, so on your consultation call. So there's two aspects and two main places where you need to be having this constant communication of value. Number one is your consultation call, explaining what is the tangible result? What are they going to get as a result of working with you? What are their long-term goals? Can they reach their long-term goals if they work with you? If not, like what is the cost? Like, is there something at stake? If they don't work with you, they don't get their accounting solved, they don't get their accounting figured out by someone who's actually good, what is the consequence of that happening? And then once they start working with you, you have to be able to consistently remind them. So that's giving reports, that's doing surveying your clients, that is having you can structure your weekly communication in a couple different ways. You can do it via email, via text message, via phone calls. I prefer to do it phone calls, but some of our students will do things via email because they just want to have as little contact with people as possible. So it really kind of depends on what you want. But it's really letting them know exactly how you're helping them. So, for example, one of our students does a lot when it comes to inventory management. So he gives a report on how much from year to year he's actually helping them make with his inventory services, right? And he's constantly showing, okay, so you increased by $250,000. And what that does is it causes them to want to stick with him for longer because they realize, okay, I just made $250,000. I only got to pay this guy 25 grand a year. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer because that's not just $250,000. It's $250,000 on top of what they're already making. That means he is 10xing whatever money they put into him is actually coming back to them tenfold. So it just makes sense. Like now the business owner starts seeing you as an investment rather than just seeing you as an expense. The problem what most people struggle with is that the business owner is seeing you as an expense. They're not seeing you as an asset. Now that can be a mixture of just maybe you're talking to business owners that just they're not really doing enough revenue or not sophisticated enough to understand why they need you, or it could be that maybe like the way we're explaining the value just is maybe you speak in terms of value that's too high level for the business owner to actually understand. It's just going above their heads. They're not really registering. So it could be they just don't know, or it could be that you're just too advanced and you're just speaking over their head. Okay. I'm not trying to point fingers at you. I don't know. I'm not talking to you specifically in this moment in time, but that's just what I've seen on average. Okay. So that's communication of value and that's communication of sales. Next is going to be marketing. Okay. How you do your marketing is going to dictate the type of clients you're going to get. Now, I like using platforms like LinkedIn. And if you're going to use more of a passive platform, like we'll say ProAdvisor, there's two different ways you can do it. Now, for both ways, at its core, you need to learn how to speak to the problems that your ideal client's going to have. So, for example, if you're going back to that student who does the inventory stuff, all of his posts are around how he helps people save on their cost in inventory, how he helps people basically reduce the time that their items are in inventory, and also he helps them know that they can start ordering the right amount of inventory every single time. Okay. Now that's what his profile is speaking to. Now those are very specific problems that an ideal client of his are going to have in order to know that when they see his profile, they go directly to him and they're willing to pay him money. Right? He had a lady pay him $7,000 just to set up his accounting. Now, to put that in perspective, a lot of people can only charge like $200 to get someone set up their QuickBooks because he wasn't just set up their QuickBooks. He was giving them a way to really like look into their numbers to make some accurate predictions. That's $7,000. He talked to her for 15 minutes. She said, okay, that makes sense. Gave him $7,000. Then he goes back to her, and now he's actually pitching $3,000 per month for accounting and CFO services. CFO services, we can talk about what that means like at a separate time. But it's really taking the bookkeeping, kind of taking it to that next level. So really kind of helping. Hey, Dana. Dana's saying, I'm dropping heat. Awesome. Good to see you, Dana. Thanks for commenting. But yeah, just making sure that they fully understand. Now, that's what the marketing is going to do. Next, you have to start getting traffic or having to get attention to those marketing centers. So I'm calling your LinkedIn profile a marketing center. I'm calling your ProAdvisor a marketing center. Now with ProAdvisor, you're going to have search engine optimization. So the reason why you had to like really take good care to write out a very, very, very clear, precise profile is because the platforms are going to try and get people who are looking for a service that matches yours to show up at the top of the search results. Now, if you're talking to problems that like people don't really care about or that like only small business owners have, right? Like I'm going to help you get set up with your QuickBooks. Yes, you will have some clients that are doing millions of dollars that might need that service, but oftentimes that's going to be more someone that's like maybe doing like 50 to $100,000 per year. They might only want to pay you like, 200 to like $500 per month, right? Which I mean, if you have your minimum price of $500 a month, if you just get a bunch of $500 per month clients, that's okay. I mean, you'll get to six figures that way. Like it'll take you 20 clients to do so. So I mean, that's why that's like my minimum price point because I don't want to take on like more than probably like 40, 50 people at a time, right? But to get to that first starter goal of six figures, you can do a $5 per month client. I'm just saying like I wouldn't go anything lower. And it's easier to hit those higher targets if you just have bigger price clients. Someone was asking me the other day, they're like, well, what's a realistic goal for my first year in accounting and bookkeeping? I'm like, well, that when most people say that, they're thinking in terms of revenue as like a number of clients. They might think they need like 100 clients to go reach XYZ dollars. And that is generally done by people who are kind of like beginners because they don't understand the power of pricing your services, right? So let's say, for example, if you got one client for $3,000 per month, that is the equivalent of getting six clients for $500 per month. I understand you know the math, I understand that. But it only took one yes at that $3,000 per month versus getting six yeses for that $3,000 per month. Because every single time you get a yes, you have to get a certain amount of no's. So let's say if you're going to go after this one client for $3,000 per month, it might only take you two consultation calls. So one person might tell you no, the other person might tell you yes. That could take you a week to do to get two consultation calls. Versus if it's going to take you six clients at $500 per month, that might take you, let's say, six times two 12 calls. That could take you 3, 4, 5 weeks to do that. If you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, it takes you like 6 months to get one consultation call. That could take you 3 years. Okay, I'm just assuming that you're understanding marketing. If you don't know marketing, maybe you should invest in a mentor. It doesn't have to be my program, but I would probably invest in marketing some way so you can move forward, right? But learn the marketing aspect because that's going to cause you to get better quality people. And then once you know how to price your services, you can hit your goal a lot faster. Now, it's okay to have small clients. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just my style of building a business. I like working with a fewer number of clients that are paying me more money, right? Because then if I have to replace them, I understand how many calls it takes. It doesn't take that many calls to go and get them on the phone. Okay. And then once you start getting good at that, you start learning how to build your marketing in a way to where you have leads that have not quite matured and are ready to want to work with you. You know that's going to take them 6 months to mature. So you start building slowly, but more efficiently without having to go and like kill yourself because you're like taking on 50,000 clients every single month. Okay. Now, growing your business does not have to be hard. If you structure it correctly, if you know how to price your services, if you know what to say on the consultation call so people understand your value, if you know how to do your marketing in a way that not only does it attract the right quality people, but you make sure that you can identify who are the right clients to pay you the price points we need in order to be successful, you can go and reach your goals in a very, very short period of time. I've had people on a I think the fastest person to get to 11,000 per month. It took him 15 days. Now that's per month. We have had people where like I had a student the other day, it took him 15 days to get a $39,000 cleanup. But I'm talking about from a monthly perspective where every single month's gonna stay at that zone. That's about 15 days. So it doesn't have to take you a long time. You just gotta get really good at doing the basics and understanding marketing, sales, and pricing. You get those three things down, you're gonna be unstoppable. Okay. But if you don't get those three things down, it's gonna take you forever. Okay. When I was starting, it took me 14 months to get to 15 grand a month in sales for like bookkeeping and CFO services. But in that first 6 months, the most money I made was like $2,300 a month, and like 1,700 of that came from like a cleanup with a 3 year duration. You don't want to be like me. In the first 6 months, I tried to do everything on my own because I was just like I had a lot of ego attached to it. I was like, I know how to do business. I'm a good business person. But once I started like really like kind of getting irritated. I saw a lot of other people were moving a lot faster than I was. That's when I started investing in like courses and like mentorships and different things like that. Because I just wanted to go and hit my goals. I didn't care if I had to spend money. Like, it's okay to spend money if you're gonna reach your goal. It's almost like you're investing, right? And some people say like you're investing in yourself, which I think people say that, but I don't think people actually understand like the purpose of that. It's not that you're like investing in yourself for like just to like have fun and like be good. You're buying skill sets that turn directly into more cash, and you're buying the ability to be certain about an outcome, right? So I can tell if something is going to work and bring back more revenue very, very quickly because I've seen a lot of things on the internet. I know, not saying I know every single thing, but I have an understanding of almost all the different styles of internet marketing and internet advertising. So I can tell if something's gonna work. But that's only because I spent 150 grand on this stuff. So I've been in like some rooms. I've been in like rooms where one of the people that was hosting the mentorship does 40 million dollars a year. So I've seen all of his advertisements. I understand why he's doing his advertisements like that. He sat there and told me how to think about advertising. There was other people that were doing $1 million per year on this. Like I understand, I've been in the rooms with people that are a lot harder and a lot further than where we're trying to go. For us, like most people are only trying to hit like $10,000 to $20,000 a month. So it's a lot easier of a business. It's just you have to have the right skill sets. Once you have the right skill sets, monetary goals become an afterthought because you can put in the reps, you can put in the time, and it's just only a matter of time before you hit your goal. I was talking to one of my students named Jeff. um, he just hit, I think it's like he's a little bit over 54. I think he's at like 60. He might be at 6,100 a month. It's been like 80 days, 85-ish days since we started working together. And I was like, you're going to be at 10K per month pretty quick, like in the next like 6 months. He goes, I hope so. It's like, wait, what do you mean hope? You understand your KPIs, your marketing's on point, you're getting conversations with clients. Half of them are saying yes now. Another 25% are saying yes 3 months or 2 months from now, or When he started, he had some people who said no, and it was like 3 months later, the person came back and said yes and filled out like the contract. So it's like you have people who are paying you now, you have the skill set to get more in the future, and you have this residual effect of people who told you no. And it's only been 80 days, like 84 or 90 days, like somewhere in that range, right? Why would you not be at 10K per month? Even if you lost all the clients you have now, if you just implement that same thing, you're only 12 months away from being at 10K per month again. This is profit, guys. Like he doesn't have anyone working underneath them. He doesn't have any marketing, like advertising costs. So it's like if you know the right things, you have a lot of certainty. And when I said that to him, he like kind of like lit up, like his eyes kind of lit up. He's like, "Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about it like that." Okay. So I kind of rest my case. I feel like I'm monologuing at this point, but I'm really passionate about people actually doing things that are needed to go and reach their goal. I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis, and also even side tangent. If you want help hitting your goals, if you want this certainty that our students have, if you want to be able to know that you have the inputs in order to get the outputs of success for your business, go ahead and click the link inside the description. Book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our program. Okay. I can't work with everybody. Again, we do work with a small number of people to make sure we're adding value, we're adding change to your life. Now, sorry, back to the story. I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people say they want certain things in their life, but they don't do the activities or the actions it takes to actually go reach that. You're really only about 8 months away from having a six-figure business if you're doing things correctly. The problem is most people take 3, 4, 5 years to start that 8-month process. So, I mean, if you just put in the time now, sacrifice a little bit now, like I'm not saying sacrifice everything. You can still go on vacation, you still hang out with your family, you can still go out to dinner on the weekends if you want, but do a little bit every single day to kind of move your life forward. Don't be one of those people where it's like, in 2034, you're still at your job. You're talking about, oh, I wish I could have started a business. I went on a trip this weekend to Chicago, and a couple of the guys that I went with, like they have a pretty successful job, like in accounting. One's an engineer, and one of them's like, man, I can't wait to start that business. Like you've been saying that for 10 years. I didn't say it to him, but I was thinking, it's like you've been saying that for 10 years. Like when are you gonna like do something about it, man? But you know, some people in life we attack and we do. Some people we kind they kind of contemplate, right? So you really have a choice. Like, are you going to be a doer in your life? I know it's hard being a doer. I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to be hard, but it's worth it. Or you can just be a talker and just keep staying on the same train of life that you're on now. Like, it is okay to like have a job. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a job with taking a job. But if you feel like there's more to your life, there's something that's calling you and saying you could do more. Maybe you feel like you want to spend some more time with your children because you've maybe climbed the ladder in corporate, but you're kind of seeing the times flying really quickly, and you're like, man, I want to like enjoy the remaining time I have with my family. Start the business, attack it, go after it. Take 8 months, and you'll be able to spend as much time as you want with them. So if that's you, if you want to be one of the few that does what they say they want to do in their life, go ahead and click the link inside the description. I'll see you on the call. Okay? Hope you have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.